Ready to go. SPLYCE versus EPSILON. You can see the teams getting warmed up. They are getting hyped. They know one more series could be the difference between winning and losing this European Championship. Stealth, you're our analyst, so it's time to put your money where your mouth is. Give me a scoreline prediction. Are we going second best of 5 first of all?
No.
No, we are not. Why?
Why? Because SPLYCE's respawn is just too good and EPSILON's just too weak.
Scoreline?
3-1.
3-1, all right. It is time for the grand final here at CWL Birmingham. SPLYCE versus EPSILON. And we're going to hand it over to our casters for the last time for the grand final. It's Jonas and Momo.
Thank you very much, Bryce. And of course, Stealth there. Let's get into our grand final here, the CWL Birmingham. It's been one hell of a weekend. We've got our final two teams, SPLYCE versus EPSILON. Jonas, when I saw these maps come up, I put my head in my hands for EPSILON. These maps, I've got to say, favor SPLYCE day in, day out. Those long-range gunfights, and we're going to kick things off. It's Retaliation hardpoint here. Let's jump on board with someone from EPSILON. We're jumping on board with Hawkey, who's just stepping back a little bit here. You know what? Trying to catch one on the flank. Jonas, what are you thinking about this series? We've heard Stealth's predictions.
I have to agree with you, Phil. I don't think the maps favor EPSILON. I think it's going to be a very complicated one. At the same time, very strong start to this series on this first hardpoint as EPSILON's able to get the first points on the board. Very big kills coming in from Dave. But as I say that, SPLYCE clean up all 4 members. We're not going to go to the rotation for that lower street hardpoint. EPSILON's going to be first, but look at Ben's already picking up kills. Going to be a very contested one.
Okay, well, first kills on the board for Bance there, as we do see the bridge pretty much split in half, SPLYCE with a little bit more of a lead. However, the rotation going down to that lower street. EPSILON do have, of course, the marketplace, and we're going to see things traded out either side. EPSILON getting the better just for now as Bance jumps in, takes down one. Can he find a second?
Not.
Runs out of bullets, and I tell you what, he almost had a staring contest as he walked away there, but he's got his teammate to back him up. Zero finds himself, unfortunately, losing out there today, but Bance hiding back, and we have a game on our hands already. I'm getting excited for this one, Jonas, because this is not SPLYCE dominating from the start here. EPSILON are showing us what they can really do.
Well, and the problem to me is that we've seen this situation before. We've seen a first very contested rotation in the final of the winner bracket on both maps where EPSILON was able to go toe-to-toe for the 100 to 150 points. But then SPLYCE was able to shift the next gear, and this is what we're seeing again. SPLYCE, 60 points now. Vortex really needed to pick up that kill, but SPLYCE, again, they've had most of the control of the lower street hardpoint, and they are on the rotation for the Money Hill on Cathedral. Going to be a very complicated one, and I'm looking at the scoreboard. Bance is already on 8 kills. Every time he's been picking up kills, it's been 2 by 2.
Oh, and Bance really has been started in a very prolific position so far. 8 kills, like you said, pointed out. I just, you know, almost take a big, deep breath there. I just see SPLYCE and I see the spawns coming from EPSILON. The way that they're pushing out is clinical. They are literally giving them no opportunity to push forward. Dave is going to punch a hole in the defense, and now this is where he can put the pressure on. 25 seconds left, and you know what? EPSILON need this. Vortex and Josh are going to double up. We're going to see them push through, and they're going to take this last scrap point here. But you've got to think of rotation. Number 5, Hawkey, and number 8, Josh. They actually could out-rotate SPLYCE with those spawns.
What an amazing job from Dave, picking up those 2 kills. You talked about opportunities. He created his own opportunity by getting the 2 kills for the rotation and breaking onto the spawns and Cathedral, then staying alive to get the last scrap point. He's going to come back slightly into the game now. 100 points to SPLYCE in just a second. 50 for EPSILON. It's not good enough. They didn't have the rotation for Broken, and even though they had a good break, SPLYCE just getting more points.
SPLYCE should punish them. You know, they rotated, it wasn't good enough, and SPLYCE one by one picking them apart like a puzzle. And you know what? This time SPLYCE, they're going to take the 70-point lead here, and they're running away with this. There's still 30 seconds left on this broken hardpoint. Madcat and Bance are locking it down. That's a double for Madcat. Can Bance find himself a couple? Not going to happen this time, as we do see EPSILON jump in, take control, but Journey's not going to give up without a fight with 23 seconds on the board already. He's trying to find the double digits. He's going to be taken down by the car bomb, of course, by the Scarab. And you know what, Jonas? Looking at this first rotation here, I'm not surprised.
Neither am I. I think it's a clear domination from SPLYCE. EPSILON giving it the best shot, but every time SPLYCE has been having the rotation, and they've been pretty much every hardpoint scoring 40, and then EPSILON finally break in, but only score 20, and then are late for the rotation again and again. So now I think EPSILON just need to be more prepared. Maybe they are investing too much into the scrap time. They really need to fight better on those rotations and win the important engagements.
You know what, as a slaying side of things for SPLYCE, yes, they're sitting pretty all positive, but only 2 or 3 each. For me, individual performances, EPSILON was a squad, which I said they need to all be firing on all cylinders, and right now it's not happening. Hawkey and Josh in particular, they've had a slow start. We're going to see them almost be doubled right now as SPLYCE are breaking into the 160 mark. Vortex and Dave are going to double up in the hallway. Turns and burns as we see Dave take down Bance. And now, EPSILON with 13 seconds. They've got to start thinking about that rotation. That bridge hardpoint is going to be coming in. And of course, the payloads will be coming in ever so soon.
Well, good news for EPSILON. Dave has turned up during the grand finals, delivering 16 kills already for his team. So important as well. He's been doing so much work, but on the flip side, Josh only 7 to his name this far against his former teammates, not having the greatest start to the series. Now 164 points to SPLYCE. They are again pretty much double the points of EPSILON, and EPSILON, honestly, they are doing great, but they're just not converting into points. Look at the slaying department, it's quite even.
Okay, well, 35 seconds still left here. Madcat on the flank, trying to push the bridge, and you know what? He'll take down Hawkey, but he's going to be under pressure straight away. Zero's going to buddy up with him, and just like that, SPLYCE take down 4. They take control in the last 25 seconds. It should be theirs, unless something majorly goes wrong right now. You've got to be thinking of that lower street. Jerd definitely is, and the Mel, the FTL jump, flashy plays, finds one, and you know what? He'll take that for now as he does stop the bleeding for SPLYCE. The pressure will be put on, but there's only 8 seconds left. The lower street is more important, and EPSILON realized that.
That's what we were talking about. Maybe EPSILON is investing too much into the scrap. Once again, we see Hawkey. Sure, he picked up the last point. He got a 4-kill streak, but he was not able to break in early enough. And now, we do see EPSILON in the rotation pretty much for the first time. However, Josh is going to be all alone, and Zero is going to come in flying and absolutely destroy him. And here comes the pinch from SPLYCE. Good defense so far from the boys on EPSILON. Could this be the start of a comeback?
Well, 35 seconds. They could get themselves back into it. What I would like to see EPSILON do is they keep getting control, but they're not pushing out. They're just sitting back. They're holding tight, and SPLYCE are punishing for this.
Big gunfight from Josh against Benz.
Once again, you know, Josh has been making moves, and I've got to say, has started to step it up. It was a slow start, but maybe warming up here in the grand final of your CWL at Birmingham. $50,000 left on the line. And I will say, with a 45-point lead here, EPSILON are closing that gap, Jonas.
Hawkey is eating up as well, currently on the 4-kill streak. That's twice at the row that he's getting a 4-kill streak now. Stepping up, Hawkey has been playing extremely well during the whole tournament. He could be the catalyst to this comeback. And now EPSILON, once again, they have the early rotation, they have the advantage. Cathedral outpoint, that is one where you can go for 460 now. They need to hold on to this, and they could find themselves in the lead. SPLYCE need to give it everything that they have, and they can come in for the pinch in just a second.
Hawkey's on a 4-kill streak. He can extend this. He can start raking in some streaks if he continues with this dominance. But Madcat has other ideas. 3 kills for him. He's going to see a couple over at the mark and finally taken down. But right now, you've got to feel for Bance. Pinched him by all 4. EPSILON will take control. And now that 50-point lead to 40. Now to 20. EPSILON are getting themselves back into this. Clawing themselves back in as Hawkey again finds another 2-piece. Look at Dave. 10 to the better as 23 and 13. What a superstar performance.
Can Vortex keep the few last seconds of this hill? This is an important gunfight. There's still 10 seconds to grab, and Benz is going to get the better out of him. So EPSILON's quite not been in the lead. Jerd is going to be fighting for that rotation on broken turns on Hawkey. My God, Jerd, you cannot do that. And Vortex and Dave are still going to pick up the kill. So now EPSILON is in control and could be in the lead, but they completely outspun. So now SPLYCE is going to have some time to go for the pinch, but Dave with the first kill. Benz is going to pick him up. This is now a 1-on-3 in the hardpoint.
Yeah, this has changed the game right now. Vortex high and flying high for Vortex. I've seen him do that a couple of times. It didn't work the first time. It didn't work the second, but for EPSILON, they try and take the lead, and
Hawkey again.
SPLYCE just says no, they break in.
Hawkey!
Hawkey with the double, and you know what? 23 and 16, he is really starting to show us what we're made of. We said they need to take a hard point. This could be the start of literally a fairy tale story.
Lead change for the first time. We were adopting EPSILON on our point going into this map number 1, but they're really putting on a show. Hockey delivering great numbers, but so is Dave. Josh has stepped up as well. We're gonna go into Hotel Hallway, but look at the score now. EPSILON only 25 points away from giving SPLYCE their first loss in our point.
Could it be? Could this one be where SPLYCE fall? 20 points here. Could be separating them. However, the Hotel Hallway is going down. We've got Hawkey jumping into the mix. Dave's used his payload as well. That's going to be a camo. He's got the better of Jerd. Not a chance in hell he's going to get that kill. But EPSILON, there's 6 points between them. There's 38 seconds still left. Bit of windy shots, but Josh does clean up nicely there as Zero finally finds himself in the ground. Bance as well, he's going to join him. EPSILON, they're getting the kills, they're not getting the points. 3 kills go down, and now EPSILON, they push out, they make this next wave of kills, and they can secure the first hard point. Jonas, this could be it.
Nice aggression coming in from Josh. He wants to show aggression, win time for his team. They're only 10 points away from picking up map number 1. SPLYCE only 10 points away. This might not finish on Hotel Hallway. Judge is going to pick up 2, and SPLYCE are going to secure the scrap time now. We're going to move on to Bridge, and this is it. This is where it's going to end.
This is all about this payload. Bance has reactive. He's going to use it. A big double kill comes in. A 3-kill streak, he's going to dip away, but now he can't give any points away. The arrows are all yellow. SPLYCE are looking good. EPSILON have spawned out. One more push is all it needs. Madcat, he doesn't care that he's got his payload ability. You've got to see Vortex break in. He can't stop it. They need to jump in. Zero's going to get in the mix. Vortex gets a double. And can we see EPSILON take this away from him? SPLYCE, they could find their first loss. It is over. EPSILON take map number 1. The hard point goes their way. And SPLYCE, this may be the doubt in their heads that we talked about. Jonas, you've got to have faith.
Ladies and gentlemen, Josh says a lot of good things, but they showed us that this time their respawn weren't that weak. What a game from them. Dave and Hockey playing so well, and at the end, Vortex, that double kill inside the hill, the use of the payload, everything went in their favor. This time around, they can close it. And SPLYCE, for the first time, are going to be losing hardpoint at CWL Birmingham here at I-60. What a game. And now, 2 things we know is that EPSILON beats SPLYCE on SND, and they beat them on the uplink. We know now that they can beat them in every single gunfight. Could this be the downfall of SPLYCE in this tournament?
We're only 1 map in. One out of a potential 10, Jonas. Let's take a deep breath right now. We're going to have a look at some of the highlights here. I do want to point out Dave's individual performance. You know, his slaying side really was stepped up there. He was the one. He was the one in the interview, I think it was before the loser bracket final, who said, yeah, we're going to lose hardpoint. Come on, Dave. Like,
have some faith.
I mean, the performance he put in was incredible. And it kind of, it does surprise us. You can tell by the reactions of ourselves. I mean, EPSILON, they almost looked surprised themselves in the end there. Josh, bit of a smirk on his face, but now they know. All they needed was take 1 hardpoint. They beat them at uplink, you said that. They beat them at Search and Destroy. It can happen. They can push this all the way. But it's 1 map at a time. Don't get overconfident. Don't get overzealous. You've got to just take a deep breath. And I think that's what Josh will now bring to the EPSILON squad.
I agree. I think Josh will keep his team composed. And I want to touch back again on Dave. There has been so many talks about Dave, and maybe he could be one of the very best players in Europe. He's had an incredible tournament, incredible performances. And again, we saw really good use of the payloads. If I have to quote the best use of payloads, and especially the camo during this tournament, I would say Dave, probably every time I've seen it use it, has been extremely influential. And I think he's been one probably of the most influential players in the whole tournament. You see Jerd doing the usual Jerd right there, but Hockey as well. I mean, Hockey, this is the Call of Duty XP Hockey that I'm seeing.
Yeah, and this is the old squad of basically 4, you know, little maniacs, you know? You've got to cast your minds back. And it's names where you think, oh yeah, Hawkey could slay, and Hawkey was one of those players back on Black 3 where he was putting numbers which were almost silly, you know, and you were like, how is he putting them up and still losing? And people questioned it. People said, you know, is he just getting useless kills? Is he just not utilizing, you know, where he's getting them? And for me, he's really started to change. You know, he's still got that slaying power, he's still got that gun skill, but I think it's been put to use a lot better now. Vortex, myself and Tun, we said the inconsistency sometimes from Vortex is a hindrance, but this time, doesn't seem to be affecting them. All smiles in the EPSILON camp.
It's all about the kill pressure, right? We've talked about it time and time again. EPSILON are probably one of the most aggressive team, definitely in Europe, but maybe even in the world. We've seen, they are always in their opponent's face, and this is what we see from Vortex, from Hockey, even from Dave, and then Josh in this team gels in very well as well. And when they are able to show more aggression and to put so much pressure on SPLYCE, can SPLYCE doubt now? They've lost every single game type to this EPSILON team.
Yeah,
Is
I mean,
this-
they've shown their weaknesses.
Exactly.
They have flaws, they can be beat. And you know what, EPSILON, do you know one person who will be having a bit of a smirk on his face? Maven right now. Maven, he predicted, he said, EPSILON will win this tournament. He did say at the end of it, without dropping a map. I'm going to take that away.
Well, it's Maven.
I mean, I've got to say, he knows his stuff. He does know his stuff, and if he is right, oh, I don't even want to know what goes down
The worst
next.
part is he probably looked at the bracket and picked a random winner and just threw it out there and got lucky. He's probably been doing that for the past 5 years, and now he gets away with it. But back
5 points.
Back to this. 5 points difference. EPSILON able to edge out SPLYCE on the first map. Now we're going to be moving on to map number 2. It's going to be Search and Destroy on Scorch. Phil, I want to say this one has EPSILON written all over it, but at the same time, you cannot rule out SPLYCE going into any map. They've shown that they are greatest in the team as well.
I saw the first 4 maps, and I went, SPLYCE, 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 SPLYCE. I thought, why don't we have a Frost uplink? Then, you know, EPSILON might have a chance. Why don't we have...
Maybe Scorch hardpoint.
Yeah, I mean, Scorch hardpoint is the 4th, I believe, maybe, but I just thought all the maps favoured SPLYCE, and I've just been proved wrong in map 1, so I'm not even caring what map it is right now. Aggression off the bat, though. SPLYCE are pushing forward, and you know what? Bant's furthest up. He has the bomb in his back pocket, and this could be a bit of a mistake. Oh, yeah, they're going to back down. Trays do go out, 3v3, as we do see them get into the mix, and SPLYCE, they're backing right down here as the bomb...
Josh somehow staying alive there.
Tell you what, Josh in a very favourable position. Finds one, finds the second, isn't going to tag him up just yet, as we do see a 2v2, Bant and Jerd. Just that bomb left on the screen. It's man himself, it's Bant. Can he do, you might think, the impossible? And I will say, great stuff from EPSILON. They teamed up, they squadded up.
They knew where he was, and they were just making sure that they were looking at him when he jumped there. Vortex and Hockey showing great teamwork and communication, staying composed in that first round of S&D, and EPSILON is going to be in the lead and picking up that round number 1. Great confidence boost. Again, I think they're going to be so motivated and so much more confident after winning that first map. Now they have true reasons to believe that they can take this game, take this grand final to the second best of 5.
Okay, well, jumping into round number 2, the Search and Destroy. We do see EPSILON go on the attack. They're 1-0 up in the series and the map, as we do see Josh kick things off with a nice 2 kills in round number 1. Will they be able to double up in here? They're jumping straight into Obs. We're going to see trades go out. This time, it goes in favour of SPLYCE. Dave trying to get in the mix. Is it a little bit too late to the party? No. He's going to just even things up with a 2v2.
Dave!
Now he sees us beat down, and Bant goes down. Could he find the third? Running out of bullets. You've got to slap another magazine in that one. A 0. May take advantage, but no. He runs away. He plays the safe game, and now in a 1v1. Dave, not only potential to clutch up here, but he could get 3 kills.
Oh, we saw him. This is it. This is going to be the gunfight, and Dave takes it. 3 kills in the round. After an amazing first map, he delivers again in the second round of S&D. What a great action. He managed to stay alive, go up in the air so high, and get that beat down in the air. My God, Dave, you've got to stop that.
Dave, I've got to say, if this is, you know, the time to shine, you do that in the first map. You're starting with 1v2s in the Search and Destroy. You're already on 3 kills himself. He's having a fun time. He said, you know, before, it's not about the pro points. He's looked at the money. He's looked at the Global Pro League, but he said it's a warm-up for that Global Pro League coming up. Obviously, so much money on the line, $700,000 each stage. Of course, the 1.5 at the end, but man could be cashing out this weekend. I will tell you, Hawkey's going to find the first. This is good for EPSILON, as we do see Vortex in a little bit of trouble. Going to back down as the bomb goes down itself. 4v3 is now that's leveled up. Madcat taking Josh down.
Impressive trust on his teammates from 0. He was getting shot at, and he didn't stop planting the bomb. Great teamwork from Ben. Going to pick up that kill, and now a 1-on-3 situation for Vortex. This is going to be a bit of a complicated one, and SPLYCE is going to get one on the board. 2-1 to EPSILON.
SPLYCE finally getting themselves into this game, and you know what? Rightly so. And SPLYCE, for me, we talked about it on the desk, and I kind of said you need to shock them. And this is the first time in quite a while that they've lost the first map. You know, this whole tournament, they've never lost the first hardpoint.
True.
They've not actually lost a hardpoint. So it is really kind of a bizarre situation. And what the communications are going to be like, EPSILON just need to take advantage of that. I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure SPLYCE, of course, will be cool as a cucumber going into this. However, EPSILON 2-1 in the search and destroy, Jonas. As we get another 90 seconds on the clock. This is a fierce, aggressive push straight through the middle. Hawkey flying high. Vortex coming up behind one. That will be a kill.
And Zero, I was sure he was going to pick up that kill, but somehow one of his teammates had amazing cover. I believe it was Dave, and a little Vortex to go in for the kill. 3-1, another very clean round from the boys on EPSILON, showing this time a lot of aggression towards the middle of the map, something we hadn't seen yet. Definitely showing their confidence, their aggression. Again, this is the playstyle that is always seemed to reward them.
Yeah, and speaking to Jared, I believe before the winner bracket final, he said, you know what, we might lose the S&D, but we won't lose a respawn to EPSILON. And it really is kind of putting things into perspective of how good this EPSILON squad is. They are 3-1 up. I know there's a strong fan base directly at SPLYCE. However, EPSILON are making a case for themselves. Talking of cases, that one's going to be closed. The bomb won't be planted just yet. And now it's going to be reopened for business. Now, as it does go down 4v4, as they back off, SPLYCE in the favorable position. I take favorable as 2 kills come in. Not looking good for EPSILON, Jonas.
Absolutely incredible cover coming from the boys on SPLYCE, covering Benz that was planting the bomb. Very well played. Hawkey is going to be left alone in a 1v4 situation. Cannot make anything out of it, and SPLYCE is going to come back 3-2.
And you know what? It's another round for SPLYCE, but you could see it's like disappointment on their face. Bance is like, oh, we shouldn't be 3-2 down right now.
We shouldn't be 1-0 down in the series. It's probably what they're thinking. They might be still in shock. I'm telling you,
you're right.
They must be doubting their own abilities to edge out EPSILON right now.
Okay, well, we're going to go into round number 6 here. Do EPSILON take a 2-map series lead? Can they close this one out? It would be interesting to see. Grenades flying high. Hawkey, 6 kills to his name as Dave, as well as Vortex.
Judd and Bence. Look at them on your minimap. Judd's going to find the first kill onto Josh, and now this is a total pinch coming in from SPLYCE. EPSILON is in between 4 SPLYCE players hungry for kills, but Vortex is going to find one, so now it's a 3-on-3, and somehow EPSILON got themselves out of this awkward situation.
I don't know how EPSILON have just managed to come out of that, but not only that, but a 3v3. They were getting pinned in at B, and it looks like Jared and Bance are actually still looking over there. They're gone, buddy. You need to help your teammate out. The bomb does go down, and now Jared's going to fight straight away. Traded out. Hawkey finds Zero, and now a 2v2. This is looking good for EPSILON. Can they find round number 4 here? As Jared, they need to go on the attack. They need to be the aggressor, and I tell you what, on the wall run, that's going to be difficult, but an FTL jump is available. That's it going to happen. Jared, he's going to jump in. The distraction play does work, and a 2v2 turns into just simply Bance and the bomb. As they do pick up round number 6. SPLYCE for a second. I thought they might have just lost that one, but Jared's kill when he jumped off that wall.
Oh, that was huge.
He's like a laser.
Oh, I have no idea how he's even human. That reaction was just disgusting. And Jared definitely helping his team secure that round. That was not an easy one. I really liked the way they played it, and it seemed like this was going to be a SPLYCE round with the way it panned out. But somehow, Vortex managed to get the kill and get EPSILON off. It's a really bad situation. Hawkey is going to use his overdrive.
Overdrive, okay.
To get in a really good situation and show aggression again. And it's not going to pay out as he may be firing too early.
Yeah, Hawkey used that straight off the bat, much like Vortex's FTL jump in the previous series. But I tell you one thing it does do, SPLYCE are like, hang on, let's back off a second. There is one player around the back. Judd is going to find himself behind enemy lines, takes down one in a difficult position to get away, and Josh is going to punish him for that. Now, all things squared, 3-3 in the game, and 3v3 in the round. Next, crucial kills are coming in, and now it's going to be leveled up. Madcat is in a good position just to sneak around the back, but do they go for the bomb plant, or do they push round?
I'm seeing what I disliked from SPLYCE against Elevate. The same mistakes where you've got those players rushing, and 2 of them were rushing, but they are not in tradable position, so they let EPSILON get that in a 2-on-2 situation, now make it a 1-on-2 as Zero is going to fall, and EPSILON is going to secure that round so well. Hawkey again with 10 kills, delivering in these grand finals. EPSILON 4-3. Could this go to round 11?
Of course it could. But will it even reach round 11? At the moment, EPSILON are showing how good they really are. SPLYCE are on the back foot here. And you know what? They've got to change something up. You know, they've got to recollect their thoughts. They've got to go back to basics here. As we do see Hawkey, 10 kills to his name. We're only in round number 8, for goodness sake, as Dave does have camo as well. How crucial is camo, Jonas, in S&D?
Huge, absolutely huge. If he was able to use that to get a couple opening kills, that could be the difference and the catalyst for the victory of EPSILON. Is still going to pick up that first kill. Not going to need his camo, is going to pick up 2 in the process. And now Judd and Madcat, the veterans on the side of SPLYCE, need to clutch it out. Otherwise, EPSILON is going to go up 5-3.
Well, Jerd does answer back with 1, but Dave in a very nice position, a 2v2. Can Jerd and Madcat do the impossible? It's all down to Jerd. Let's hop on board as he's up against Dave and Josh. He's got to take down 1, but no. Slipping in was Josh there for the final kill. I believe we're going to see a kill cam, of course, to recap that. However, Jonas, getting nervous.
I think
I have a bit too much faith right now. I think I've gone overload on faith as EPSILON are showing exactly why they're in this grand final, why they just put to bed Fnatic 3-0. They have been fantastic throughout the whole tournament long. Let's go back on board with the attacking squad.
Let's, of course, keep an eye out on Dave. Number 6 on your minimap, got that camo available. Could be the difference in that round number 9. Can SPLYCE bring it back?
Well, we'll keep an eye out if he does use it. However, will he need it? 3v2, here it is. Dave's used the camo. He's going in. He means business. He needs to take down 1 with it. He does. There's 1 behind him. A double kill comes in. It's all high fives around EPSILON as they take down SPLYCE in map number 2. What are we seeing, Jonas?
Well, we certainly didn't expect that, and that is straight. Good thing SPLYCE won the finals of the winner bracket, because we could see a great victory from EPSILON in that first best of 5, and Dave is all smiles. I've seen him all smiles many times this weekend, but he has every right to right now with the way he's been playing. First game, played so well, but the last round as well, picking up both kills, so impressive. 9 kills to his name, Hawkey as well, playing so well.
You said it in the hardpoint. Dave's camo use has been great. It was in respawn. It was in the previous uplinks. And I mean, uplink may be a little bit easier to convert that, but that camo play in particular, just the way he doesn't panic. He uses the camo. He just simply glides his way through. He picked off 1, which was huge, and that was like, okay, it's a 2v1. Surely a trade comes in, but he makes the second kill as well. A little bit flashy. Hawkey and Dave, great partnership going on, and there's the man himself, Josh. But Bryce actually said, I'm going to bring this up. He's out there somewhere. I doubt Josh. And I'm punished for it, and I think he might be eating his own words. It's coming back like a nightmare for him.
You found it. Bryce is the problem.
Okay.
If it wasn't B-Sport and Bryce in this final, then maybe SPLYCE would be taking it. And
don't doubt B-Sport.
Don't doubt B-Sport, absolutely. The man has been around for so long. What a veteran. We both had the chance to team with him.
I was going to say the same thing.
It was much younger and definitely not as successful as it is now. He probably got better teammates, actually.
Yeah, I think we can agree on that. That's why we're up here, he's down there. But, I mean, Josh himself, just to take a kind of second to talk about it, I believe he's the most earning player in Europe for Call of Duty. Obviously, second. I mean, I've looked on some websites. I trust him. I'm not gonna question him. But nevertheless, he came second.
It could be right.
Of course. Himself, at the previous Call of Duty XP, going back years, we know him probably better than most, really. His days when he was teaming with Tommy, he won like 6-7 events kind of back to back. I think that was under Apex, and it's just had such a long-lasting career. And the craziest thing about it is he's still so young.
It is, and I think the interesting fact about Josh is back when we were teaming with him, it was that guy that we were looking at, and it was a great Slayer, right? He was delivering amazing numbers, and now he's tailored himself into an in-game leader, someone that has boosted so much experience and has been able to take all these young players and these upcoming UK players from the community and bring them to the best level. This is exactly what he's done last year with the SPLYCE lineup, with Vortex, with Hawkey, and then even when he left during the second part of the season, they were great because they knew everything that Josh had told them.
And as well, just as a side note, talking still about Josh, but he used to have this kind of, not rivalry, you know, they're best of buds outside the game. Mad Cat, yeah, but it was Jerd for a little while where I think it was like 7 events statistic was flying around, and I'm just pulling numbers from nowhere here. But basically, Josh beat him every single time and time again. And then suddenly, the tables turned, and it was Jerd, and Jerd always beating him. And it's been like that now for, I'm going to say, going on around 4 years, where these guys have been going head-to-head in Europe, and they've both had their successes. They've both had, their difficulties, but it is just that one more. And you care about the most recent tournament. The saying goes is, you're only as good as your last tournament. You're only as good as your last match. And, in a couple of hours' time, or maybe minutes, maybe, one of them will beat the other and will have those bragging rights once again. Of course, SPLYCE, they're heading off to the Global Pro League tomorrow. Going away second place, that's not going to help.
I think, like we said, anything else but first, with the way SPLYCE has been looking in the tournament and previous to the tournament, would be disappointing. And right now, you can tell on the faces what is going wrong. Is it that they're tired? Is it the map set? Is it a bad matchup against EPSILON? I5's going on, Mad Cat's still believing it. It doesn't matter because they still got a shot at this, right?
Yeah.
It's not make or break. They've got a second best of 5 in case they lose this one. Obviously, Jerd has been playing extremely well. I think he's one player that never disappoints.
Marry me. Oh, anyway, back to the Call of Duty. Mad Cat, yep, he's been having a good time as well. Fierce looking himself. And the addition of Zero, they're in a bit of a tough position right now as we recap it, but they really have strengthened the squad. And we did say before on the desk, both teams have improved with their swaps, and I think Josh will be happily the first to admit, SPLYCE have got better without him. But EPSILON, they have come leaps and bounds with the addition of Josh.
I think it's also a case of, if you look at the SPLYCE lineup, they're much more experienced players, so naturally the role of Josh is going to be very different because he doesn't need to guide them as much like he does in EPSILON. But either way, we are in map number 3. Could be the last map of this first best of 5, but not in favor of SPLYCE as you would expect. EPSILON, can they close it out now?
Will SPLYCE bite back? Will they roll over and see a second best of 5? We'll see potentially in the next 10 minutes as Hawkey, Mad Cat and Josh make it 2 for Hawkey. SPLYCE start off on the back foot and EPSILON start as they mean to go on. They're going to be pushing round here to cap. The statue available, a 1-point play should be made. Will it be played? Is Zero available to intercept? Not going to happen. Too high. It's painful to watch, but Mad Cat was 2 to bed, and this could be a bit of a counter-attack on the board.
But you could tell that his intention was to throw it very high so no one could intercept, because we've seen it time and time again. Zero putting himself in the way of that drone, making sure he could intercept for the side of SPLYCE. But again, the drone control is going to be in the hands of EPSILON. It's going to be Vortex, and the one this time is going to go in. First point on the board for EPSILON. They are dominating, and look at Dave again.
I'm going to start chanting Dave's name in a minute right now. He's having the game of his life. It's certainly not over, but Josh is jumping in. He's wanting to make a 1-point play. No, a pass comes in. A 2-point is secure. And SPLYCE, they're in a position which they have never been in right now in Europe alone. They are 2-0 down in the series. They're 3-0 down in the game. EPSILON are looking on fire. Vortex takes down Zero. There's 3 players to 1 over at the statue here. Jerd does take down 2 and a bit of a beat down and taste of his own medicine as a 1-point play. No, the pass comes in. It's number 2. This is textbook here from EPSILON, straight from the scrapbook here. EPSILON Esports are destroying SPLYCE in the first 2 minutes.
This is so well played. Vortex just putting himself in a situation where we could see that pass coming in for the 2-point play. And this was really well played because he didn't shoot anyone. It just literally went there and didn't shoot, so they wouldn't notice him. And then let his teammate do the pass. That was brilliant. And now he puts them in such a good situation. Mad Cat's the only one to put some real numbers on the board for SPLYCE. They've been dominated so hard during that first 2.5 minutes. Now, can they bring it back?
Well, they're going to have to start with a change, and Mad Cat finds a 4-kill streak. However, talking of streaks, we're going to see Trinity Rockets coming down. They're not going to be effective just yet. As Zero trying to find one in the middle. Mad Cat definitely lighting up, and he knows what a grand final is. He's been in many before, but Dave, again, answers back with the double. Mad Cat is not rolling over without a fight. He finds 1. Zero's going to help him out, and 11 kills to his name. That's a total of his whole team put together right now with 3 minutes into the game. This is kills galore, slaying power either side, and we favor Splyce every single time in the slaying department, but right now, Epsilon are looking absolutely insane. Mad Cat is just saying no at every opportunity.
Mad Cat has been playing rock solid during the whole tournament and during the start of the series, playing so well in the first map. Of course, it wasn't enough, but now looking at that uplink, I think Mad Cat is on a mission. 14 kills. When you look at Benz, he's only got 3, and the 1 is going to come in from Jerd. 0 picks up 2. Epsilon's going to clean it up, but Splyce finally putting 1 point on the board. I'm looking again. Dave is always in that kill feed, and he's in the right side of the kill feed as he picks up 2 more.
Drone will be reset, and we do see with 90 seconds left on the clock, Epsilon still putting numbers on the board, and that drone is going to go in favor of Josh, and so is the kills as well. Under pressure there as Zero finds a double. And this is where Splyce, if they can get another couple of points in this half alone, they can put themselves back in the running right now. But Epsilon, they're starting to show weaknesses. They need to stay strong, and you've got to start with Dave coming from behind. Vortex and Josh, he doesn't get to release it. That's big from Dave. And you know what? The drone will be reset, I believe, or even picked up and ran. However, this half is certainly not over yet, Jonas. 60 seconds left. Josh pushing forward. Dave adding to the mix. And now we're going to see Hawkey. Is it a 1-point play? Oh, you see the bombardment coming in as well. You've got to follow Hawkey. He's going for 2. He doesn't even care.
Oh, he goes for 2, but instead at the end goes for the 1. He's going to miss it, but everyone on Epsilon gets the kill. Dave on the 7-kill streak is going to put the 2-point in, and 7-1. What a dominant performance from the boys on Epsilon. Phil, I don't know what to say. We heard the predictions on the analyst desk. Everyone was favoring Splyce going into that final, but we could see a 3-0 in that first best of 5. Incredible start to the series.
Dave is on fire. 17 kills to his name. A 7-kill streak already. Vance is trying to get a 1-point play up and over. We'll follow that one. It looks good. It is good. And they'll close the gap only by 1. We're going to flip the sides. Epsilon are 5 minutes away from winning their first best of 5. And you know what?
Wow,
deservedly
wow,
so.
wow.
That man on the end, Dave, DeQueve, whatever you want to call him, he is stepping up right now for Epsilon. He is making this game his own, and he doesn't care about who he's playing, what names are against him. All he's focused on, as he said, is this practice for the Global Pro League with a little added bonus of a few extra pounds there, or dollars.
Absolutely, and going into I-60, we all saw that it had Splyce written all over it, but no one predicted, except Maven, that Epsilon could bring it back in such an amazing fashion, and Dave just delivering such amazing numbers is on. He could be even going for a 40 at this rate, picking up so many kills. But now, Splyce is going to put Epsilon on the back foot for the first time in this game. But again, as I said, that Epsilon pick up all the kills and they're going to deny Jerd the opportunity to go for the 1. And Zero goes down as Josh picks him out.
Josh finds 2 there, and you know what? He's pushing forward. He's no care for that drone. He's actually flanking around. This could be a really dangerous play here. But then again, Jerd with the FTL, talking a dangerous, finds a 2, and you know what? Vortex is going straight through. I would have preferred a 1-point play there. I think it was a little bit greedy, maybe a lack of focus. 2 players went down. I don't see why he went for the 2. However, 1 minute has passed, and 1 minute closer to seeing that second best of 5. Jerd on your screens, though. He's waiting for his teammates. Hawkey denies Mad Cat.
Jerd still alive on the right side of the map, trying to find an opening, and he's going to find 2. Actually, there is a third player. He didn't think about that one, and that player is going to be Josh, finding 2 kills, and is going to take that drone away from Splyce. Jerd did everything he could there, but it just wasn't enough, and every time that Splyce has a great, let's say, push, they're not able to go far enough. Every time Epsilon shut them down.
Jonas, let's talk payloads right now. There's 3 in favor of Epsilon. Jerd and Mad Cat are wielding them as well. And you know what? I know Jerd's using FTL, but these payloads must be favoring Epsilon Esports. They're looking good. That drone is in limbo. But Josh, he's not willing to give it up. He sees 2 push round. He's got to take down 1. Can he find the second? I think his teammate may be able to help him, but the drone will be reset for now. Another minute has passed. Another minute closer to the second best of 5. Epsilon can utilize these payloads. They can push back Splyce. This is looking ever so dangerous if you're a Splyce fan. Epsilon Esports, I can't believe I'm saying it, but they're looking to close this out in 3.
Incredible indeed. I wouldn't have believed you if you told me that before the game. However, this is really what's happening. 2 payloads available, even 3 on the side of EPSILON. Mad Cat God is available as well. Will it be enough? If you're EPSILON, you're happy with how this second half is panning out. SPLYCE, not able to produce much, not able to apply the pressure or to get mid-map control.
We've talked about it in the hardpoint. We talk about it in the S&D. Will Dave do another remarkable play with a camo? Will he need to? It doesn't look likely, but he's going for the drone. He wants to make the play. He wants to put this game to bed. He wants to end it in 3. 2 minutes left on the clock. Another minute closer. We're repeating the same thing, but they are looking likely to do so. He gets around the back here. It's GG.
2 things on your screen, Dave and Camo. We've talked about it every time. He's used it so perfectly, but this time, this is going to be the overdrive from Hockey. He's going to play it safe and go for the 1. 6 points difference, 2 minutes left. SPLYCE, can they bring it back? It doesn't look like it. They need a miracle at this point.
They need a miracle, I've got to say, with Dave and Camo and the way he's utilized it. 27 and 14 for the man we've highlighted in every single game mode. Hawkey's stepping up to the plate. They all are. We could highlight them day in, day out. But right now, with 90 seconds left, this drone is in the hands of Zero. Mad Cat's pushing forward. They need a relay. They need something special. But right now, trade's going in. It does favor SPLYCE. The drone will be passed out, and that will be 2 points. Maybe the start of something special. But like I say, EPSILON, they need to utilize the payloads. They do, they win.
Mathematically possible to come back. Fourth place. Mad Cat's going to find one. Okay, he's going to take him down. The streak's coming in from Dave, but Ben's waking up. He's going to find 2. Can this be another 2-point play? Zero. The body block and Vortex with the beat down. This was just huge. He could have gone for the 2-point play, and surely this should seal the deal.
Give it Dave. Pass the drone to Dave. Make him use the camo. The wise thing is pushing forward. 45 seconds left on the clock. 3 go down, and now Hawkey last alive. Just needs to make a couple of kills here. His team will be respawning with him. Again, that camo is still available. There's only 30 seconds. Hawkey is starting to do damage, and now he needs a 2-point play. He knows he does. Zero's got to put it in with 30 seconds away here. SPLYCE, they can tie this up. Mad Cat has overdrive. He's going for it, Jonas. They're pushing forward. Mad Cat doesn't have the support just yet. He makes the beatdown. Now he's got the teammates. Doesn't make the second, and Josh, his former teammate, says no. You know what? I think this might be over. Josh is pushing forward. He's got reactive armor. Jonas, I think we're going to a second best of 5 here. We're counting down as we see that drone just in limbo. EPSILON ESPORTS, they say no. They shut down SPLYCE in 3. We're going to a second best of 5. The crowd is getting hyped. My goodness. They need a break. I need a break, Jonas. What have we just seen here?
Incredible. No one would have believed that before the game, but EPSILON showing such a strong performance in every single game type. The hardpoint, they said it was weak, but it wasn't. They win by 5 points going into the SNA dominant performance. And this uplink, they dominated from start to scratch, and except that last minute and a half where SPLYCE gave it the best shot, it was just too late to the party, and this is going to seal the deal. SPLYCE, woo! They got to be doubting about the victory here.
Wow. Well, you see the players are going to take a very quick break, and you know what? I'm getting flashbacks of MLG where we see the 10th map come into play. What EPSILON have just done is unthinkable. You know, a squad like SPLYCE, I didn't think that was possible. You know, to beat SPLYCE, that was a small possibility. To 3-0 them, to shut them down. What Dave had for breakfast today, I do not know, but it is certainly showing in this grand final. I don't want to just highlight him, because Josh was fantastic in the hardpoint. We had Vortex and Hawkey. Consistency is the key, Jonas. However, we're going to take a very quick break here. The players will be regaining on main stage. Do not go anywhere. Join us for our second best of 5, EPSILON versus SPLYCE. Don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to CWL Birmingham here for our grand final in the NEC. Of course, Insomnia 60, EPSILON, SPLYCE, Jonas. We've had a few moments to collect our thoughts. We have just seen SPLYCE not only lose their first hardpoint, they have lost 3-0 in the first best of 5 against EPSILON. Just break it down for someone who may have missed what we've just seen.
Wow, we've just seen an incredible lineup of EPSILON turn up. Dave and Hockey bringing the fire to that lineup, but every single player building up to the win on every single map. They won hardpoint by 5 points, showing great composure. But then the SND and uplink, it was a great domination, and there were maps that were definitely going into their favor. So now we've got to be asking ourselves, can SPLYCE bring it back? Can they get that second series? And Phil, I've got to put you on the spot. In between that break, you said, you know,
what are you talking about?
You said 3-0 to SPLYCE. Now, that's fine, but I want you to tell me why.
Okay, Jonas, that was I don't know where you got that from. I have no idea what you're saying. However, I just have a feeling, I'm gonna be honest. I saw these maps, but I saw them previously and I said it was SPLYCE. I think SPLYCE are able to cope with a series loss. I think they have the experience to do so. I don't know if EPSILON can replicate what they just did. Again, I have the faith, but I am gonna say, I'm just gonna go out on a limb, you know. I'm feeling crazy, Jonas.
All right.
It's 11:30. I'm gonna go SPLYCE. I am gonna go 3-0. Do you know what? That's really unfair.
That would be the weirdest finals of all time.
It's really unfair because EPSILON have just been absolutely amazing. And Dave, if he could probably hear me, I'm gonna whisper a little bit. He'd probably stand up and give me daggers. But I just feel like, SPLYCE are gonna close this one out. I really do. And the reason being, I don't see them losing this map.
And did you see the passion in Mad Cat's High? He played so well the uplink, but that wasn't enough. And honestly, I'm gonna go with EPSILON. Because
I like that.
Because I don't want to dub B-Sport. We just done it and it didn't go well. But also the second factor is I think
I just can't
Dave
stand
is MVP in the tournament so far.
If Maven is right, if they win 3-0 again and don't drop a map, like, I'll lose my mind. Forget it though, SPLYCE versus EPSILON Grand Final. Best of 5, number 2 as we kick things off. Vortex starting at speeds of unknown. quantities right now. Josh is finding one. Hawkey's going to take down his own teammate right now. But you know what, Epsilon start off the better, and we're going to see the central rooftops go in their favor just for a second before Dave gets in another gunfight. You know what, Dave started strong. He started strong again. It's 3 kills to the good.
Well, and 3 very nice kills as well. He's definitely delivered during that first series, and if he can replicate the same performance in the second series, it could well go in the way of Epsilon, and they're going to break that middle hard point and get in control. They are going to be in the lead. They also have control of the cell block spawns. That's going to be a very important one as we add into a little later in the game. But Dave picking up another 2 kills. Josh now also putting some numbers on the board as he's on a 3-kill streak. SPLYCE not having the best start.
Not having the best start. You've got to look at the rotation towards the cell blocks as well. And looking at this, you've got to favor Epsilon. Vortex with the double, and tell you what, that's going to help his team a whole lot, because he's going to spawn in right at the back with his squad there as he does. Josh locking down the middle. You got Bance pushing round. This is going to be a difficult push for them, and you know what? It may come back to bite them in the butt. As the trophy systems are coming down, Bance goes lows, but he has been spotted. Zero helps him out with a kill. Trades come in, 1 apiece, and oh, Bance, cheeky. You don't want to fall off the map. Bit of courage there, but never mind.
Never gonna help to fall off the map, but Jared just trying to stay alive inside the hill is actually gonna find 2 kills, and now SPLYCE got a real shot at breaking this cell block. However, Epsilon already got about 20 points on the board on it, so I think this is actually a pretty good operation for SPLYCE. They're gonna bring back in the game, but Epsilon can focus on the rotation. Look at Madcat, already there, he's gonna have a lot of work on his end.
Certainly is, and I will say SPLYCE for me did a lot better than I thought on that cell block. They broke in, they got some scrap points as well. And actually, they're rotating around. They're going to lose the rotation as Epsilon do beat them to it this time. And you know what? Epsilon, for me, they were the stronger on the middle. They were the first to rotate onto cell blocks. They're looking strong. They're looking disciplined. They're looking hungry. And I tell you what, this man on your screen, Dave, is 8-4 again. He's crazy. But Vortex with the sneaky plays could find one straight away. Bance does fall. Vortex and Hawkey, they're joining up, and only Josh needs one to make a full party, but he's not needed right now. Jared's out in the open. This is looking strong for Epsilon, though.
And look at this kill pressure again. This is what we mentioned. This Epsilon roster can put so much pressure on you, and this is exactly what Josh did, going to the middle of the map to pick off Jared. However, 3 of the SPLYCE players now heading towards the hill. Can they all done? Dave is going to find 2 again, and just like this, it's not going to be a break for SPLYCE Epsilon with a huge lead already. 65 points. They're going to pick up maybe the last 10. Actually, SPLYCE, never mind. They're going to be taking the last ones, but Epsilon, they are in the rotation.
Again,
it's all good.
Again.
If you're Epsilon, you're happy.
You must be happy at this given point. I will say Dave is still on a 5-kill streak. Not in the action just yet, but he's limboing around. Bance should find him. He will find him. Dave surely can't get the better of him. Doesn't, and Bance will regain the spawn control for SPLYCE. However, a battle at the commissary does find SPLYCE in favor as Madcat and Bance are going to jump on in. Zero picking up the kills. And now SPLYCE show their resilience. They show what they're made of. And there is one player lingering around. It's Hawkey, but he's going to get shut down.
And Zero was so key to break into that commissary hardpoint. Not only did he pick up a kill at the back of the map to make sure they would gain back control of the spawns, he was able to get both kills inside the hill. Now, on the 4-kill streak, he's eating things up. 12-7, make it 13. On the other end, Madcat, we talked about him. It was rock solid during the first series, not having the greatest of starts. But looking at the scoreboard, it looked a little scary for SPLYCE. They're bringing it back. They're only 25 points down as we head into the second rotation. However, Epsilon keep impressing us with their hardpoint.
Hardpoint is seeming to be a strong point, believe it or not. Epsilon and the man himself, Dave, said, we won't win a hardpoint. Okay, we know that. We need to steal something else. However, right now, he's on the verge of taking both of them, having a 100% success rate in the grand final if he continues this one. Hawkey's reining in the points on the central rooftop as Journey's on their back foot here. But thinking about the next spawn, you've got to think there's 40 seconds still. SPLYCE have to push this. They know this. The pinch is coming in. This could be good for SPLYCE. It will be good for SPLYCE as Bance puts the 4th to bed. I will say Madcat, 2 kills, 0-17. For me, something's not clicking.
No, definitely not. I don't know what is going on with Madcat. Sticking with that MP4, I'd like to see him to switch maybe to something more aggressive, switch up his game style to see if it makes a difference because its team needs him. Hawkey and Vortex both going to pick up 2 kills, which is going to allow Epsilon to get the last few points on the central rooftop. Now, moving into the next hill, cell block. The spawns are in control for SPLYCE, but can they hold on to it? Can Epsilon break in?
Well, they are being outslayed right now. Splyce and Epsilon will be pushing in. They'll be pushing as a squad. Big gunfights going down. Trades go down. But Jerd and Madcat do show Epsilon that they can hold back. Dave, for somehow, somewhere, what is this man doing?
Dave?
Dave with a 17th kill, the 3-kill streak. Can he make it 4? He doesn't need to right now as the teammates are coming in. The Scarab's available. He's 225 away from that Trinity rocket as well. He's going to be ever so close. 1 kill away. Not going to make it as Madcat shuts him down. But Dave just continues to dominate.
He continues to dominate, and he, on his own, changed the way that this game was going to pan out by breaking into the cell block hardpoint. Splyce could have secured a full 60 and come back into the lead. Instead, they're going to have to fight for this scrap, and they're not even going to get it as Vortex picks up the last kill onto Jerd. So now Epsilon are going to be 40 points in the lead again. Make it 30, sorry, as they give up the last 2 points, but the rotation in favor of Splyce.
Splyce has the rotation, like you said, and Bance has the double kill, which should help them. Trinity Rockets are going to be coming in thick and thin as Josh takes down Bance with the headshot. Zero finally picks one up with that as he's 19 and 12. He really is starting to help his team and push his team back into this game. Madcat does need to step it up. He had a slow start. He needs to change that around.
You can see the patience from Epsilon just waiting until they have the right positions to try and break into the hill, but they're not going to be able to do so as only Josh is going to find 1 kill. And just like that, Epsilon spawning on the other side of the map is going to struggle to enter that graveyard. It could be a full 60 control. However, 2 kills going down. Can Ben secure it? It's going to go down. 1 player alive. It's going to be 0. Can he make it a miracle? He's going to find 2 kills, and he's going to keep control. This is huge from 0.
0 with the double. He finds himself getting 1 out the map as well. Camo available. And this is the Splyce that we know and love. They're fighting their way back into it. Jerd and 0 continuing the dominance. Hawkey should be traded out there. Not going to happen as Vortex comes to the savior. And the commissary for now will go in favor of Epsilon. But Splyce take the lead. Credit where credit is due. They're back in it. And mainly because 0 is dropping 23 kills already. He's used the camo as well. Trying to do something big. Takes down Dave and will be traded out. But the trades should come in favor of 0. And the boys, as Splyce doesn't happen. Epsilon, they are showing what they are made of right now in this grand final, Jonas.
And Madcat can't pick up Vortex as he's going to pick up 2 and make sure Epsilon can stay in control of Commissary hardpoint. They are back into the lead and looking to extend it as there is 20 seconds left on Commissary. I don't think Splyce is going to be able to break in, so they're going to need to focus setting up for that central rooftop and the spawns for cell block. Dave, camo available. We'll keep an eye on that as he's still picking up so many kills, going 21 and 16 so far. End of the second rotation, Epsilon still in the lead. Not a very big lead as there is only a 10-point difference. Could this go down to the wire again?
Well, it's looking that way. The questionable thing is the time is ticking down as well. We haven't seen a game go down to the time in a very long time. As we go back to the central rooftops, we do see Splyce trailing just by 10 points here, but the kills are going in their favor. 0 still dominating, 26 and 17. Showing Epsilon exactly why he was picked up for this roster, showing Josh why he was replaced. But right now, Josh has all the bragging rights. A 3-0 victory in the first best of 5. However, Splyce, they're going to take control. They have the spawns. This could be the swap in momentum that Splyce need.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. This is where the game is going to be decided. If the Splyce boys can secure this 15 last seconds of the hill like Ben is doing, this could go down very well. However, look, number 6, I think that Splyce pushed a little too much, and I didn't see, but I think Dave spawned in the back of the map. We've seen how well he's played. He's got camo available. He's going to pick up a first kill, and what we saw was going to go in the way of Splyce could well change right now. Dave is going to pick up one more.
No.
Can he pick it? And yes, Dave, he does it again. 3 kills to his name. Camo still available. Doesn't even need it. 25 kills, and Epsilon can bring it back.
Well, there you have it, Dave and the boys of Epsilon getting back into this 25 and 18. They're 10 points down right now. They're still not out of this, and they can really make a game for themselves. Camo still available. Dave still on a streak, making 4. Trying to make it 5 as Madcat denies him of that, but a game on our hands. 2 points in it. The lead changes once again as Epsilon, the first to break 200.
They are going to be within touching distance of a map win for this first hardpoint. They're going to secure the last few points on cell block, which is going to put them on 220 points. Splyce very close to the 200 mark as well. but they do not have control of the graveyard. They need a great push if they want to stay alive in this map number 1.
We certainly do. Dave still has camo bans. I believe we'll be rocking the reactive as always. Available is the Scarab, but not needed right now for Dave. He's positive 10 once again. He has done this time and time again here against Splyce. Maybe the Kryptonite. Bance, he's used his payload available. And you know what? He's paid off. He's found 1, 3. Make it 2 for himself, 3 for the squad. And Hawkeye does answer back, but Splyce will gain control of the graveyard. 35 seconds left on the clock. Splyce need these points.
This was definitely the final push that Splyce could afford, and they make it perfectly, so they are still alive. Neither team, well, actually, EPSILON can still finish on this one, but Splyce can't, so we should be seeing a commissary hardpoint, and Slash! Dave is going to turn on Mad Cat. Can he pick up one more kill? And yes, it does. And they can finish on this one. Dave, can he pick up more kills? This could be it. This could be map win on map number 1. Again on hardpoint for EPSILON. Is the contest going to come in? This is it, Phil.
Yeah, it really is. 3 points to going down. Splyce will contest for now. It's going to the commissary, but look at number 7. Vortex has 1 gunfight to win. He takes this, he wins it. He's going to be challenged at 1 point. All he needs to do is close it out. What has happened? I don't even know. We're back on board with the screen. He can get challenged. Bance comes in to save the day. Should I say that is 0? And we see Splyce live another day. They can keep this. We've seen what Splyce can do under pressure, and Jerd, he is not rolling over without a fight. 22-24. We're jumping back on board with Hawkeye. These next gunfights are crucial to the victory. He's going to get challenged from the right-hand side, and now Splyce looking strong here. They only need 1 break, Jonas. 7 points away. Splyce can close it out. This is game-changing. 0 picks up the double.
1 gunfight.
1 gunfight away. Splyce are looking strong. They have the control. It's being contested right now. No one wants to make the challenge. Zero's waiting for his team. EPSILON have the control. They're going to take it. And map number 1. V-Sport Josh roaring on the main stage right now. How is this going all the way? Back-to-back hard points for EPSILON. You think about what they did in the loser bracket final. They 3-0'd Fnatic. They 3-0'd Splyce. They're 1-0 up in the second best of 5. Is there anything this team can't do?
Composure, incredible composure at the end from Dave, picking up that gunfight, not challenging against Zero, recognizing that this team, as the favorable spawn, waits for them, and they clean it up to pick up the last point remaining. Dave again putting so much on the board, 33 kills, 23 deaths. And when you think about it, map number 1 was 250, 245, and they do it again, 250, 247. What is going on, Phil? I don't even know.
I have no idea. I don't think Jerd does right now either. He's in almost a state of shock, as we all are. But we've been showed exactly what this squad is capable of. And my highlight for that is Mad Cat. Yes, he had a super slow start. But Dave, time and time again, we highlighted him in the first hard point. He was like positive 11. The second hard point, obviously, that we've just seen, positive 10. The S&D, I think it was Hawkeye who turned up. But as well, Dave, I think, put 9 on the board. And just time and time again, can he keep this up?
Well, apparently, again, he's just done it 4 maps at the row. So
why did I doubt them? Why?
Well, I don't know, Phil, but I'm telling you, prediction is already going wrong, and I'm very scared that we might have to call. I'm very scared that we might have to call Maven the most knowledgeable EU caster at this rate.
The most knowledgeable man on the planet right now.
Yeah, probably. He saw it coming. Could Maven be a genius? Well, we'll find out on the next maps. Splyce is definitely not out yet, but they're yet to pick up a map in the grand finals. And Dave, looking at that play, that was just purely amazing.
You've got to feel for, you know, or think about the emotion going through the squad, whichever was to lose that then. It was back and forth, the commissary, they were round each other corner. And you know what? It was all about that last spawn. And it was the push round, I believe, from Vortex, which enabled them just to get that better spawn for themselves. And it was just back and forth. I was thinking it was going over at the graveyard. We go to the commissary and, you know, 20, 30 seconds later, we're still battling out. You've got to feel, what a Splyce going, you know, what's going through their head right now? You know, they've just lost a best of 5 3-0. They've just lost that first hard point by, was it 2? I can't even remember.
5.
Are you sure it was 5, Jonas?
Yeah, it was 250 to 245 on first map. I'm absolutely sure. However,
I'll trust you.
The fact is, both hard points were extremely close, and Splyce, I don't know, they must just be so depressed right now because they've not been able to close it out. And I want to outline as well. Zero played so well throughout the series. is played so well. Look at that again. Dave, what he just did was disgusting. And we're looking at the score again, and Mad Cat going 14 and 29 definitely didn't help the boys on Splyce, but you can't blame him. He's been playing extremely well throughout this series. He's just had an off map. And to me, that uplink that he had is got to be a little frustrated around that. Now, if you just tuned in, EPSILON won the first best of 5.
Oh my goodness.
3-0. Can they do it again in the second best of 5 after resetting that bracket? They pick up map number 1 now. We're going to head on to Search and Destroy Retaliation. Can this go any other way but EPSILON victory?
Why do you ask me these questions, Jonas? No, I mean, you've got to think the momentum that EPSILON have right now. I'm trying to use my memory, which, to be honest, on a Sunday night at midnight nearly is very difficult. But EPSILON, their loser bracket, they beat Fnatic 3-0, right? They won 3-0 against SPLYCE in the first best of 5. They just won another map. That's 7 back-to-back. Previous to that, I'm trying to think who they played in
Fnatic in full play, 3-2.
I mean, just before that Fnatic loser bracket game, they lost. Of course, they went down 3-2 to SPLYCE.
Did they play Red?
No, they lost to SPLYCE. They headed against Fnatic, obviously, in the loser bracket final. So since playing SPLYCE originally and losing, they haven't lost a map.
No, they haven't.
They've
You're
got
right.
7 back-to-back. No matter how they've won it, whether it's 3 points on a hard point, 1 round on an S&D, they have come through. They've come through a very, very tough run here. And I can't believe I'm saying it, but right now as we go into this Search and Destroy, EPSILON are 1-0 up in a final best of 5. Are we going to see them go all the way? Let's jump on board, Jonas. Grand final time, map number 2, Search and Destroy, Retaliation. Let's go on board with Bant and the attacking squad that is SPLYCE.
Bant carrying the bomb. A lot of aggression coming in from Judd, and Mad Cat is going to be able to pick up the MVP so far in this final. It's going to be Dave. Josh picks up 1, but still favorable trade for the boys on SPLYCE. As I say that, Vortex is going to be left in a 1 versus 2 situation. Quite a complicated one. They know where he is. He only has information about 1 player. He just saw the second. So this is good. Can Vortex clutch it up?
Pushing forward, 2v1, Vortex, he's done some special things. Not going to be enough, as we do see SPLYCE take round number 1. You can see it straight away from Bant. The let's goes, the come-ons are coming through. It's a good start for them. They needed it. They need some confidence boosted. Maybe that is the start, but Retaliation, I feel like I've seen SPLYCE play so much on S&D, and you know what? They made mistakes, but they still won. You know, they played aggressive.
They won it every time.
Yeah, they played aggressive against Fnatic. They still won 6-4. They played aggressive against every team. Are they going to play aggressive still? We'll have to wait.
They just did. They just did, and this is what I expected to see from SPLYCE, and it's good to see that they still have the confidence to go for the aggression after just losing those 4 maps at the row against EPSILON. Still have confidence in their gameplay. In this round, Mad Cat's going to pick up the first kill. Second, in the S&D, there's going to be a 4-on-3 situation. EPSILON have no idea where the SPLYCE players are. But look at your minimap again. Judd and Bant seems to be a recurring factor. Are going around the back. Zero is going to find 1. So now Josh is going to be left alone.
Okay.
In a 1 versus 4. Good luck, B-Sport.
Yeah, you've done some crazy things, and you know what? Why would I ever doubt you? Okay.
Well,
Up in a bundle of flames there, as we do see the second round go to SPLYCE. EPSILON starting a bit slow in this Search and Destroy. I don't want to really say they've started slow. I'm just going to say SPLYCE have come back with a bit of bite in them. And the grenade, the direct impact coming in finally from Bant there. 2-0 to SPLYCE in our second map.
SPLYCE just making sure they give the pace that they want to the game. They've been showing a lot of aggression in these first 2 rounds, and we see this duo, Judd and Bant, just staying as a unit and trying to go for those first picks. Successful so far. Can EPSILON get the first round on the board as they are defending? Zero is going to see a lot of players and actually run away with his life. Almost gets killed by his teammate in the process, but manages to stay alive. Still a 4-on-4, and SPLYCE going to take this one a little slower.
Yeah, he managed to survive just for a second there. He's going to get back in the action and bounce back. And that's Bant himself. Finds 1. And will put his team in a favourable position, a 4v3, as Judd lingering around that top area. Bant is going to go into Garage. Vortex taking him down, but a trade's come in. Josh isn't there as well, just to make up the numbers. He's there to take names and take them down. 2v2 here as we go into the last stages of round number 3. The bomb is being planted. It has been planted. And there you go, caught out with your pants down, Judd. Hawkey should be traded. No! Hawkey makes the 2-piece. and EPSILON will find themselves their first round on the board. And the defuse will come in here. A salute goes down, and Hawkey's ready to rock and roll.
Well, we've highlighted the player Dave on the side of EPSILON, but Hawkey has definitely been stepping up during the finals as well. 2-1, SPLYCE still in the lead. But this is the kind of situation that they cannot let go. They cannot let Hawkey get away with those 2 kills. They were in a very good situation, but EPSILON managed to flip that round. And it's going to be a full-on attack from EPSILON onto bridge, and Josh is going to find Judd, Dave's going to find Benz, and it's a 4 versus 2.
This is looking strong for EPSILON. They're pushing forward, it's aggressive. Why not? Vortex is going to take down Mad Cat, and Zero left in a 1v4. Can he be the hero? Can he take the round? It's very doubtful. The bomb goes down, and he will be pinched from either side. That's going to be the second round. And EPSILON, they're back in this just like that. 2-2. Here on the main stage of Insomnia 60. CWL Birmingham, $50,000 on the line, Jonas. And you know what? EPSILON, they can taste it.
Well, you heard Dave earlier. He's also in it for the money. He's looked at the prize pool before the event, and he's definitely hungry for it. He definitely has been the one delivering the most on the side of EPSILON, but it's been an incredible team effort so far. Josh now putting some good numbers on the board as well. 4-on-2 for the captain, eSport, and good kill from Judd right there onto Hawkey. Can he be traded straight away? Now EPSILON's not going to find him, and he's somehow going to stay alive. I'm not sure if that player saw him. Mad Cat's going to find Vortex, and now this is a great situation for SPLYCE. Can Dave and Josh do anything special?
Oh, Vance is going to find Dave, and there you have it. Josh is in a 1v4. Make it a 1v3. There's a very proud mother in the crowd somewhere right now for Josh, but that's going to be too much of a task for him as SPLYCE find their third round of the game.
At this point, I'm just going to let you cast whenever it's eSport, because I don't want to be doubting him anymore.
Do you know what? If we doubt him, then he usually does well, so...
All right. Well, do you want Josh to win, then? Is that what you're saying?
I'm an unbiased caster. All I want is some phenomenal Call of Duty.
Well, we are definitely getting some phenomenal Call of Duty here at Insomnia 60, Momo. It's been incredible 3 days of Call of Duty, and it all comes down to these grand finals between SPLYCE and EPSILON. Maybe not going all the way to map 5 during the first best of 5, but it's definitely being an entertaining one. Now, EPSILON, they bet everything onto that bridge attack, and it's going to work in the favor as they plant onto that A bomb site. Now, 4-on-4 retake. SPLYCE are going to stick as a unit. Can EPSILON defend this bomb site?
The Wolf pack is pushing forward, and that, of course, is SPLYCE. However, EPSILON, they have a pack of themselves, and you know what? First gun engagements is going to go down. Zero gets the better of Dave. The first to fall, and you know what? The first map is actually maybe underperforming. Talking about under, straight under the car for Bance as Jerda picks up number 3. And Hawkey left in a 1v4. That's going to be shut down as quick as it was put up. And you know what? That's SPLYCE picking up round number 4. And could this be the first map of the best of 5? SPLYCE, we've seen how dominant they've been throughout the whole tournament in their respawn. S&D, we saw Jerd say, or I heard Jerd say, you know what, we might lose an S&D to EPSILON. We won't lose a respawn, but we might lose an S&D. So far, they've been pretty good in S&D.
Yeah, they have. And talking about retaliation, of course, which we are seeing between those two teams, a map they've been successful at so far in the tournament, 100% win rate as they picked it up against Fnatic and Elevate. Can they close it down? However, we've seen EPSILON come back time and time again. And they're going to show this aggression towards middle of the map. A great grenade from Mad Cat.
Read like a book.
Yep. 4-on-3. Maybe a 5th round for SPLYCE.
5th round is potentially on the cards here as Vortex does go down. And you know what? Mad Cat pushing forward, getting aggressive, and this is looking different. This is looking like an A push. However, on the flank, you've got a B-Sport Josh taking down Zero, a 3v3 now. As he backs off, he's going to find himself in a bit of trouble, but Hawkey takes down Bant, 3 active armor available for Josh, but I don't think it's needed with the numerical advantage. He can just dip and dive. He can wait for his teammate. Defuse coming in. Defuse from the Queeve. EPSILON find themselves another round. Jonas, are we going to get a round 11?
I don't know.
I hope so.
I don't know if I can handle it, Phil. It's been crazy
you
so
can.
far.
I got faith, remember? You can do anything, Jonas.
All right. The French and the Ginger might hold on until that round number 11. I definitely want to see it. And I like the play from Josh. You know, the sneaky play coming around the back, getting that first kill. He's got that reactive armor available. Didn't choose to use it, as he just chooses to waste time onto those two players from SPLYCE who were looking for him. And in the meantime, Big Dave was defusing.
Big Dave. I'll tell you what, he's living up to that name in this series alone. However, this map, he struggled a little bit. 1 to 5, sneaky plays from Josh in and out. He's going to get out of there. He's going to regroup, set a rendezvous point back at B with his squad.
Wow.
Into the bedroom he goes. The reactive armor still available, and he's looking for the close engagements with the ERAD.
The latest 4-on-4 retake for SPLYCE was successful. Can they do it again? Different bomb site this time around. Zero is going to use his camo. You see a lot invested for the boys on SPLYCE to trying to get back into this round. But it's going to be 3-on-2 for EPSILON. Can they close it? Judd is going to find one more. He's got FTL jump available. Is he going to choose to use it? Dave finds one more. Judd's going to find one as well. One-on-one. And he's not going to make it. EPSILON tie it back 4-4.
He had FTL available, a 1v3 turned to a 1v1, but I've got to say, when you invest camo to a round like that and lose it, that's not only demoralizing, but it sets the standards, it sets the precedent for the rest of the series. Mad Cat's shaking his head, he's not happy with that. Zero maybe down in his utilization of that payload.
I think that's debatable. I think that's a very debatable use of the camo, sure. It would have been nice if it was 5-3, but I definitely feel like there would have been more valuable situations to use it. It was a very hard retake to do, as they had no information where EPSILON was, and the B bomb site may be a little harder to retake than the A one. However, SPLYCE back onto the attacking side. Can they be the first team to put 5 on the board and put the pressure on EPSILON? Josh still has his reactive armor available. We'll be careful on that one. Benz is not going to be able to find this kill, but Josh is going to find Zero. Vortex finds Judd. And this smells like trouble. 1-on-4 for Mad Cat. He's going to find one. He's still in a very tense situation, and there we go. EPSILON, they take this round and are now 1 round away from leading 2-0 again. Phil, absolutely mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing is an understatement right now, Jonas, of what we're seeing. Potentially 5 matches back-to-back, which SPLYCE are going to lose. Josh will be communicating throughout the squad. They're 1 round away. I'm just going to say right now, EPSILON should win this round. Look at the payloads. Vortex and Josh have it. I believe Judd has FTL. FTL. We've got a reactive armor from Josh.
But Benson and Mad Cat both 1 kill away from this payload as well.
They are, but should they get these kills? I'm not sure. If he goes in with the reactive armor and picks off these initial kills, this could be game-changing. Josh, he's not starting slow. He's going very fast and furious. He's got the teammates available. Ascarif has been used. Josh uses... He doesn't even use his reactive armor. He gets 1 kill. He's going to die with it. Could that come back to bite him? We'll have to wait and see as a 3v3 goes down. Vortex has that FTL. Nothing too crazy, but with a bomb down, it can change the game. He sees one Hawk. He's going to deal with him, a 2v3.
Pressure on SPLYCE, 2 kills away from losing map number 2. Can Judd make anything special? He's going to find the first kill, but in the meantime, Dave is going to find Mad Cat 1-on-2. Judd is not going to be able to make it, and EPSILON, they take this game 6-4 and go up 2-0 in the series once again. Phil, I have no words for what is going on here. No words.
I don't know. I don't know what to say there. You know what? For a second, I thought Josh should have used that reactive armor.
Me too. Why didn't he?
He didn't need it. He didn't need it. You know what? He'll save that for next game. Forget it. He's thinking ahead. It doesn't matter about the search and destroy. They have 3 maps, right? They need 1 map win to take CWL Birmingham, take that $20,000, those 40,000 pro points between themselves. And you know what? That's what EPSILON need right now. Dave said he wasn't thinking about the pro points, but that will help them tremendously. How does SPLYCE bounce back from losing 5 maps back-to-back by this squad?
It was full 3 up as well.
I just don't know what to say. I doubted Josh. I doubted him again. Bryce, where are you? I need backup. Well, we were wrong. We were wrong. Everyone's been wrong.
We were
all in the same boat.
But its game could have gone either way.
Good to see you guys on
point. Could have gone either way. But yes, indeed, good to see the tweets coming in. Don't hesitate to react. I'm sure that there is a lot of people on the stream on the edge of
I like that one.
Whew.
My heart is pounding.
Yeah.
Trust me. Right now, I don't even know what time it is. I don't know what day it is. All I know is we're about to see history in the making, potentially. for Epsilon Esports.
Well, SPLYCE back against the wall. They've got to win 3 maps at the row.
Reverse
And
sweep.
Epsilon just won the last 5. So mathematically, this is not really in their favor. Can they pull off a miracle? Can they change everything? And mainly, the thing that they need to change is they need to be able to close it out. They've been sometimes in a commanding lead, but they've not been able to answer back to Epsilon. And again, we've seen Hockey playing very well, we've seen Dave playing very well, we've seen Vortex playing very well. This time around, Josh, those calls have been amazing. When they get that ninja diffuse onto bridge, that was really well played from Dave. And then the last round, he probably didn't use that reactive armor because he was thinking ahead for round number 11.
He had the initial, he saw him before, you know, he won the gunfight, and I think that the problem with reactive armor was he should have used it, but I'm not kind of going to dwell on it. The game's over, the map's over. We've got to reflect on what's happened here, and SPLYCE, which we're going into today, where, you know, they were looking at the perfect tournament, the one where they don't lose a map, the one where they make a statement going into
Seems like
the Global Pro League. It really does, and you know, the teams over in North America and obviously the APAC region, Mindfreak, Envy, and I believe Cloud9 will be sitting and more than likely watching this thinking, so these guys are beatable, you know?
Well, I don't know if I go in that way. I'd more be worried for whoever is in the Epsilon group.
Oh,
All of a sudden, I'm looking at this and I'm like, well, we have a problem on our hands.
Yeah, that's another way of looking at it, Jonas. And I like your thinking. When you see the recap of the Search and Destroy here, the players are getting ready. I believe they're all set. We're going to be going into an uplink. And
is this it? Is this the end?
Stop asking me questions, Jonas. You can't. No. Judging of what we've seen, it should be. Epsilon have been the better team time and time again in the grand final. In the first best of 5 they lost in the winner bracket final, they won uplink. In the second best of 5 that they won 3-0, they won uplink. We're now in the second best of 5. We're playing uplink. It's Throwback.
Right, so
I can't now be Josh. I can't.
You are telling me that SPLYCE, Zero, Benz, Judd, Madcats, those 4 players are going to lose 6-0 to Epsilon in the grand finals at I-60. Is that what we're saying?
I just think Maven is right. And you know what?
This is absolutely terrible.
And the whole thing when he said as well, they won't drop a map, it's kind of crazy.
It's ridiculous. Why would you say that? Why would you even say that? He's cursed it. Well,
if I was SPLYCE, I'd be a bit worried of Maven.
Well, honestly, I just want SPLYCE to win a map now.
But
in
all seriousness, you've just got to kind of take your hats off to Epsilon. At the start, it was all Dave, Hawkey in the S&Ds. That S&D in particular, Dave didn't do fantastic in Odyssey. He was 1 and 5 at one point.
They're all doing their job.
But stepping up to the mark is Vortex. You know, so on myself and Tun, you know, we said he was maybe a little bit inconsistent at times. Bance, you know, he teamed with a lot of those guys going back to his very original start in competitive Call of Duty. I remember him at an Insomnia, and I think, don't quote me on this, but you know, he was teaming in Exertus, it was called, with the likes of Vortex and Desire, that kind of mix. He now finds himself on the main stage for $50,000 against teammates, or ex-teammates, should I say. He dropped, or I don't even want to go into it, but Josh left this team. Imagine what Josh is feeling right now. He's thinking, boy, did you make a mistake.
Josh is probably feeling amazing, actually. You're right, Phil. But Josh, this man, can you ever doubt him? He's made so many squads. It's incredible how this guy is able to surround himself with players that are going to be listening to him and are going to put himself in such a commanding lead in these grand finals. Looking before the tournaments, we didn't really believe Epsilon would be in this situation. Don't even think about winning the tournaments. But now, it's a reality. SPLYCE on the back foot, back against the wall, 1 map away from losing here at Insomnia 6-0 in the grand finals. And we're going on Throwback uplink. I don't think this is the best of map for Epsilon, but again, they've won every single map, so I don't think logic matters anymore.
Okay, so logic's out the window according to Jonas. I have no more words what to say. We're heading into potentially the last map of the grand final here. in Insomnia 60. EPSILON are one map away from taking the series for the second time, 3-0. Let's jump on board with Vortex. Throwback on uplink. Let's go.
And again, EPSILON with a strong start are going to find 2 kills, but the veteran Jerd and MadCat are going to find 3. Jerd onto a great start as well, finding 2. MadCat finding 2 as well. Jerd still alive, he's going to find Vortex, but the drone is not in the hands of SPLYCE just yet. 0 finally has it, and Josh is the last one alive. This looks really, really great for SPLYCE. Can they convert? And yes, they do. In just 30 seconds, they get on the board.
Well, that's a relief for Zero and the boys of SPLYCE as they break the deadlock. And that's a very early point to score as well. First 40 seconds, and SPLYCE are making their move. Jerd's already tallied up 5. Dave and Vortex yet to pick up a kill. I say that as Vortex finds his first. And now, with a minute gone, it's looking all SPLYCE.
All right, Jerd is going to find kill number 6 still alive. Within the base of EPSILON is a world of trouble right now for this team. Dave is going to find 2 again, and Josh finds a Jerd, which means 0 is the last one alive. Can Dave go for 1-point play? And he misses. Dave, you've impressed us, but that one could have been very important. Instead, Benz is going to pick up the drone, and SPLYCE is still in the lead.
Yeah, long shot for Dave. A difficult one. He was under pressure. He knew 1 player was around him. However, with 90 seconds gone, SPLYCE still looking strong here. And you know what? Uplink was always, you know, their weak point, if you like, you know, but they technically had the better start, or the best uplink at MLG Dallas, and they've looked strong in it ever since. They've just outslayed their opponents simply like that. And EPSILON are one team that have contested their slaying ability. Can SPLYCE do what a lot may have thought was unthinkable a couple of minutes ago? Vortex has that drone in his hand. Still 2-0 is the scoreline, and Vortex looking to go for an alternative route. And one player, he loves to go high and trying to go through blue, maybe looking for a 1-point play. He needs his teammates to make the kills. He needs to reset that armor, and he will do. Throws it straight into the hands of the enemy.
Gets the kill.
Takes him down as well, and Jerd will fall. That could be the 3rd and 0 as well. Josh looking to convert. Can he make it 1, or will he go for the 2-point play? He has the teammate. The pass comes in, and Vortex slips that one in for the number 2. It's all even Stevens Jonas, 2-2 in this score. As we see 2 minutes do go by, Dave and the boys of EPSILON starting to heat up.
And such a patient play as well from Vortex. Just the vision of coming back and not forcing Destiny to trying to go for that 1-point play. Instead, he's going to find 2 kills, and the good pass from Josh puts them back on the board at 2 apiece. Dave is still alive. Got a lot of players from SPLYCE to deal with, but the drone is now in his hands. Can he go for the
Looks
1?
good.
And it does! And now, again, EPSILON is in the lead. 2 minutes left to go in that first half. But again, SPLYCE looking dominant for about 2 minutes. But now it's back to EPSILON. They are putting the pressure on.
Well, Jerd has started punching people in the face again, and that worked for him last
Like
time.
Throwback, right?
See if it will work for him again. MadCat's going to be running this drone on the outskirts, and EPSILON are going to have to adapt to this through the barn. This can be a simple 1-point play. A pass comes in. Oh, I'm not sure what happened with the drone there. Not looking good, though, as the reset comes in. Smart play from EPSILON as the kills go in their favor as well for now. Jerd trying to do damage. He is doing damage. 13 and 7 is his current scoreline, but he's a little bit out of place right now. He could be caught as well if his teammates don't pick up these kills. Luckily for him, Bant is on form.
And SPLYCE was in a great situation to at least go for the 1 and tie things up against EPSILON. Instead, that confusion around the drone and the pass is going to cost them big. EPSILON still in command. However, look at the right side of the map. Jerd is going to be in position maybe to go for the 1, but
go down.
All players go down, and EPSILON is just going to take him away and reset that drone. Never mind, Aki is going to go on the left side of the map. 48 seconds to go. Vortex finds 3. Josh might be able to go for the 2-1. Not the pass. And there we go. EPSILON 5-2.
It's beautiful play. They're passing it. They're having some fun right there on the main stage. And you know what? This is how to play. Uplink Jerd, though, he's gone for a bit of a lonesome run, and no one is tracked back. And you know what? EPSILON are going to have to give this point away. They're going to have to give the 2-point play.
Look at Dave. Look at Dave on the minimap. If they can get the reset and he can get a manual pass over the building, Dave could go for the 2. Is he going to be able to? Yes. He's going to get that drone, and well played on the reset from Dave. What a vision from EPSILON. This is just flawless.
And you know what? It's not just a 2-point play. It's something that unlocks the score streaks. He has the bombardment. The Trinity rockets are coming in. EPSILON, they're now only 5 minutes away from taking it. I feel like we're on those stepping stones, and we're only one step away, Jonas, from seeing EPSILON upset a lot of people here, especially those 4 on the main stage in those SPLYCE jerseys, of course. I can't believe what I'm seeing here. Even what we just saw there, you know, we saw a very large gap given away by EPSILON. It seemed like a big mistake, but you know what? They said it's fine. We'll reset, we'll go for that, you know, manual pass, and it's working out well for them. They have the lead. Potentially the last 5 minutes here of the grand final. Can EPSILON edge it out? They've got the score streaks. They have the payloads as well, but Jerd is trying to answer back. 15 and 9 to his name. Bantam Madcat getting amongst the party as well, as Hawkey needs to go big right now.
SPLYCE, they were looking to get that tournament. They've got 5 minutes to come back into this game. Only a 2-possession game, and they're going to find all the first kills. Now, Dave and Josh are here to defend. Dave is going to go down. Josh is still alive. Zero, I don't know if I agree with that play, and they're not going to go for it again. SPLYCE, they looked in a great position to go for the 1, but instead, maybe the greed to go for the 2. And this is twice that we've seen it happen. EPSILON on the other end, every time they've had the opportunity, they've looked great. And this is the difference so far in this uplink.
Oh, this is the difference. It's Dave with the turn on there. Finds 2, gets rid of the drone. Doesn't find 3 as Zero. Does stop him in his tracks for now. Score streak's coming down. Madcat and Zero do pick up kills, but Vortex says no. He takes his teammates down, but the drone is still loose. Will it go for the reset? He's using his FTL as well. Doesn't manage to get round the corner. However, that drone needs to be picked up just for a second. Not going to reset. Dave has other plans for it. And of course, that plan is that portal. Can he convert up and over? Looks good, looks promising, but interception, it's none other than Zero. Can he make something of this?
That was a very important interception from Zero, staying composed. They are still alive in this game. They're going to pick up 3 kills. 1 player alive. It's going to be Hawkey. Can he do anything? Can he defend against all the players from SPLYCE coming in? SPLYCE is going to settle for the 1 this time around, and this game could be tied up if they had played safer earlier on. Now they've got 3 minutes into the 1-possession game. This is still highly doable.
1-possession game, but I've got my eyes on those score streaks, and here it is. He passes it off. He says, just make sure you stay alive, but they don't manage to. The score streaks will come in. Dave now has the option to defend. That drone looks good, but it's not. It goes right over the top, and this time you're going to see EPSILON get away. SPLYCE get away with murder right there. Zero again. He's going to pick it up. My worry right now is if Dave unlocks camo, if we're going to see overdrives come into play, that is when we're going to see the real crucial parts come to business. Zero's going to fall. Jerd's going to take him down as well, but EPSILON hanging on by a thread. Jerd is 24 and 14. What else can he do right now?
He's doing everything that he can, and there is 2 minutes 33 to do even more. Dave's going to find 1. Jerd's going to find Vortex. Going to be traded straight away. But again, EPSILON just making sure that SPLYCE not going to go for anything. EPSILON, are they a little shaky during those last 2 minutes? They can smell the win.
They certainly can. 2 minutes away from a very healthy check. A couple of pro points to add to the mix and a confident boost going into the Global Pro League. However, cast your eyes to your top right. I'm looking at those yellow circles. Those are going to be the game-changing moments. We've got Madcat on your screen. He's doing damage right now. 2-kill streak. Bance's streak's ended. Vortex says no. Hawkey jumps in, and that drone is not going anywhere. Jerd, he's running in the wrong direction right now, and I know he has a plan to rotate, but it's just not looking good. Dave could actually find him. He's going to take down the barn, and 1 minute 45, time is ticking. Beatdown comes in. SPLYCE now have this option to push forward. They will put it down that alleyway. Or will they? Will they turn back? Jerd is hesitant. Beatdown comes in. The story of this tournament. That kill feed lights up blue, Jonas.
Jerd is doing everything that he can. He played it so well, and he's trying to be the hero for his team, but it's not enough. They're not picking enough kills to go for the 2. Bombardment is going to come in from Dave.
Oh, Dave.
Madcat and Jerd. Could this be another 1-point play for the boys on EPSILON? Look at Hawkey. He's using the overdrive. Zero is going to pick him out. This is huge. They are still alive. SPLYCE is still in the tournament, but they've got to score within the next minute, or this is going to be GG, and EPSILON will be your champions.
The problem is Madcat, 1 kill away from overdrive, Zero about 2 away from camo. Dave as well. It's the kills that matter right now. Make the kills, make the plays. This drone, This next play could be the defining factor. It's going to be reset. 2 kills come on the bounce for EPSILON. Bance answers back with a double as well. Dave has the camo. He's asking for that drone. He gets what he wants. The camo is used. This could be the end of the game. 35 seconds. He's going to put it in for a 2-point play. Dave is looking like he's just finished the game so strong. With 25 seconds, SPLYCE need a miracle right now, Jonas.
Another perfect play from Dave and a great use of the camo. He's played so well throughout the tournament, and this is it. SPLYCE is going to give up. EPSILON, they're going big, win this final 6-0, and are going to be your Insomnia 60 champions. Wow, what a game, Phil.
CWL Birmingham champions EPSILON take down SPLYCE in the grand final. And you know what? 2 amazing teams come out of this. But my goodness, SPLYCE, they look so good all the way through the tournament. But EPSILON, it only counts when it's the grand final, and what a grand final. They have sent a statement here today. Not only did they beat SPLYCE, taking revenge for their earlier game, and pretty much just rubbishing all of our predictions, but what a way to do it. Leaves no doubt in anybody's mind. 3-0, 3-0, and they are the grand champions of this event. All right, guys, we had a lot of faith on SPLYCE coming into this. And you know what? Don't bet against B-Sport. I've said it before. I said every time I've done it, it just comes and surprises me.
I'll blame Maven. I think it's all Maven.
You know what? I give full credit to Maven. He made a prediction. It come true. You can't blame him for that. You know what? It's amazing. EPSILON have looked really good, and we said coming into them, there is a potential in this team. How much further can they go? How much better are they going to get once they get B-Sport and get some practice under their belt? Well, from winning 2Ks to winning this championship, and they didn't do it the easy way around. They went into the losers bracket, played how they had to play, and just made SPLYCE look like they weren't even here. And that's not easy to do. You got to give them, like, how big that is for EPSILON is, if they just beat SPLYCE, it would have been a great victory, and be like, yeah, you know what, EPSILON are a great team. 6 maps back to back is the shocking thing here for me. SPLYCE didn't win a single map, even when they had the advantage, and even when they were ahead.
No words. Like, it was not the fact that EPSILON had won this at all. I mean, granted, it's a hell of a statement to make, but at the time, it's three. I'm lost for words. How can you do that against this sort of lineup of SPLYCE? It's unbelievable. You don't win 3-0, 3-0. That's unheard of.
I think you're right. I think that's the shocking thing you got to point out here is it's not that EPSILON won, because admittedly, although we predicted against them, for me, you know, I was like, yeah, I think SPLYCE have got this. Over 10 maps, surely they can't do it. Not in my wildest dreams would I have predicted a double 3-0 coming out of them. SPLYCE not even taking a map.
I mean, even after they lost the first best of 5 3-0, Jonas very cruelly said, what's the score going to be? I was like, I don't want to. And I just thought, you know what, SPLYCE, they can bounce back, they'll win.
Yeah.
And I said 3-0, and it was like, I felt like you could see it crumbling and just going away from you in their faces, their gameplay. But you just got to give credit where credit's due. And EPSILON, they surprised everyone. I mean, I was jokingly saying you've got to have a bit of faith before the game. Faith doesn't do that. Faith did not make Dave into some superstar up there.
Oh my
that
goodness.
Was pure, raw, just
MVP,
skill. Just skill.
Without a doubt. I mean, he was great in the games
absolutely.
before the final.
Yeah.
But his final performance,
incredible.
incredible.
One of the best we've seen in Europe for a while, I would definitely say. And I think the other thing is, those hard points.
Oh, I could go back and watch those hard points all day.
8 points difference. 8 points difference. And 2 maps go the way of SPLYCE.
I think the second best of 5, that first hard point, is what killed SPLYCE.
Yeah, exactly what I was
agree.
thinking.
We expected SPLYCE to maybe regain after that first best of 5. Go, you know what? We did get 3-0'd. That's fine. It's a lifeline. Let's get back into this one. But after you lose that second best of 5, and you lose that first hard point, there's nothing else to say. You know what? Before we go any further, though, on this one, we are going to go down to the floor with an interview with a winning team, EPSILON.
Well, Brycey, I don't think many people expected that to happen. EPSILON are your I-60 champions. Josh, did you expect that to happen? Surely not in that fashion.
After the first series and how like tired we was, no, but I don't know.
I mean, all throughout that series, everyone was like, can they win another map? Can they win another map? And then to 3-0 them in the first one, that's surely going to push them on the back front, give you guys so much confidence. I mean, this guy here, he played all right, in all fairness, Dave. I mean, he played pretty well, but collectively as a team, you all fantastic. Don't make his
head any bigger.
No, I think after that first 3-0, did that maybe spur you on?
I mean, it gives us a lot of confidence. Obviously, we lost 3-2 first series. Like I said in our pre-game interview, if we can scrape a hard point, then we can do it. Well, I mean, we scraped 2 hard points, and like obviously it proved like when our S&D is top notch. Like I feel like I got the best understanding of anyone in the S&D. And then uplink, like it was like our best game mode when I was in that team. I really know how to understand uplink. So if I can get my hard point sorted, we're going to be sound.
This must give you so much confidence going into the group play, you know, in a few weeks' time. I'm not 100% sure what week you guys are in, but, well, week 3, as you said. So, I mean, carrying that into that, that's good. It's going to be, obviously, the best possible result for you guys, but that's going to give you so much going into that.
Like I said, like we've got this coming up, and, like, I just made the biggest risk anyone could ever say, like leaving SPLYCE and then joining these. Everyone doubted it, literally not. I think there was, like, 2 people in the whole scene who said, oh, what a good move.
Not me.
Yeah, exactly. Like no one, like I just seen the potential, and like I know I can work with these players. Like, just super happy right now.
Well, the risk has paid off, Josh. You admitted there. You guys are the I-60 champions in a fantastic grand final. Congratulations to EPSILON. Back to the guys on the desk.
All right, thank you very much. Well, Josh, still humble and calm in victory. And to be honest with you, I want to kind of recap the storyline for EPSILON up to here. The reason we've spoken about these guys and the way that we have. So the start of the year did not go well for EPSILON. We all know that. They kept grinding. They kept having to kind of up their game. They started to make some progress. They started to get through the tournaments that have preceded this one. After that, they ended up having a roster change. Josh is right. A lot of people considered what he did a massive risk. Turns out right now, it looks like it's paying out. We saw EPSILON last time. We thought, you know what? They are getting better. We're waiting for Josh to kind of settle in and see what the potential of this squad is. We actually asked the question earlier. How much potential is there in this EPSILON team? We didn't think at the time that we'd see them top 2. They made top 2. We didn't think at the time that we'd see them win the grand final. And we certainly didn't think we would see them go 6-0 in map count against a SPLYCE team who for the rest of this tournament, and the reason we were so heavily favored them, destroyed Fnatic, Confident Town Elevate, beat EPSILON in a 3-2 match, admittedly, but their maps were probably better wins than EPSILON's were. And then to come out and do this out of left field, I think it's reevaluating EPSILON for a lot of people. Now, don't get me wrong, there are people that have some faith in them. Rated was going off, you know, on Twitter. I think Maven said the same thing. But I think for the general majority of people, EPSILON were the underdogs in this final fight. What this does to the way teams are ranking these teams now, it's kind of thrown it all in there. Can you imagine if you're in the CWL Pro League and you got EPSILON in your group, you're thinking, oh, okay, you know what, 4th, 5th in Europe, and then all of a sudden, you know, just before it kicks off, you just see them completely 6-0. What was the #1 ranked team?
And 4th at NLG Dallas.
Yeah. I think this is a big turn up for the books, and you know what, Beastbot, he took a risk. He kind of gambled on players he thought he could work with. I don't know what he's got. He's got some sort of magical formula that I would love to hear. I mean, it's not the first time.
His mum's here.
That's what it is.
Maybe that's it. But one thing I was thinking during the very, very last minutes of that uplink is I don't remember a team coming from loser bracket and not only winning the 2 best of 5s, but
flawlessly.
But 3-0, 3-0. I don't know if that's ever been done. It's ridiculous to kind of see. It is, for me, history in the making. I've never been at a tournament where I've seen it happen. And to see
I can't remember.
Someone like Josh as well, where he's had such a you know, a long kind of drawn-out career where he's had his ups, his downs, and a lot of people kind of. I remember him on social media when the whole thing with SPLYCE happened. He was like, "You probably won't see me playing, you know, for a couple of months."
Yeah, that was
and I
the
was
point,
like,
actually.
"Don't be silly, get back on, just keep going, keep going." And I'm sure, you know, everything kind of calmed down, and he finds himself, you know, with some of his best friends up there as well, holding that check. And I think that's the first victory or major land victory for some of those guys as well. So a massive congratulations to EPSILON.
It definitely is. And I think you talked about risks from Josh. Big risks, big rewards. That is pretty much what happened here. Josh took a gamble, but he believed in that team. He believed in them last year, especially Vortex and Hockey playing with them in the first season. And then when they went to Cut XP, it showed how much these guys were capable of. And now, again, we are seeing that this could be possibly the 4 best new players in the UK.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about Josh's risk a lot, mainly because he's the captain, we're focused on it. I think another person we have to talk about is Dave. Like, we spoke about a lot of people. He was in the top 10 list a little while ago. A lot of people have been saying he is an incredible player. There were some firsts in that list for him as well. I think there'd probably be more if I did it again. But yeah, I mean, there was definite moments where he took over, and he was making kills I just didn't believe he was going to make, over and over again.
It was just so impressive, time and time again. Like, it's like that situation where he's on cell block, right, on the first outpoint of the second series, and there are 3 people at the row, and he just positions himself perfectly. It's not only his row skill, it's not only how smart he is in S&D, it's his general awareness and how calm and collected it is. And to better illustrate how calm and collected it is, look every single camo play that came out of Dave. Every single one of them were perfect. There has been some debatable camo play coming from people like Zero, a very experienced
player.
Yeah,
he blind popped it and ran down Marketplace stairs.
Yeah.
I'm sure that will come back to haunt him.
But Dave didn't do that. Dave used his camo perfectly every single time, and that was a huge difference in every map.
It certainly was. All right. Well, I think that pretty much brings this tournament to a close. Well, it's been an incredible 3 days here at Birmingham with the NEC at I-60. We finally found our champion of Europe. It is, of course, EPSILON, and they will move forward from here, I'm sure, full of pride, ready to go into the Global Pro League. So I'd like to thank everybody here, the admins, the production team, everybody who turned up and played. And, of course, everybody at home watching. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.